Greetings to all. Welcome to another broadcast of In the Circle Ministries. Our YouTube virtual ministry here where we take things and put them up under the microscope and we see things with take our plural eyes and make them singular. And so that way our body be full of light. I want to give a couple people a few minutes to get in. I also want to thank those that are tuning in now, that are tuning in later. All of the faithful subscribers who subscribe to the channel, those who like, those who come through, watch, and continue to go through without subscribing or liking. I thank you for your attention as well. Um, Hope everybody's day has been just as wonderful as it can be. Um, Hope everything is going as well as you would like it to be. I didn't get a chance to actually sit down and um, edit this and give it a title. The title was just left with the way it allowed me to do it on my phone. I was having technical difficulties trying to get on the computer and get it fixed out and settled. But I guess the title or the subject for today's broadcast would be being in the perfect or being in the right environment for growth. So being in the right environment for growth. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about it in a way and then bring it back around to you in a spiritual manner as well. Um, I want a couple of illustrations on what actually brought about this whole, excuse me, this title for it is me doing work in my garden and was able to see things that I've also done and been doing in my walk, in my strive for self-mastery. Um, the garden that I had planted, I had brought some soil in and had some soil here on this property. Um, Been here for a while, but over the years, been doing different things with the soil and got some great harvests out of the soil when I first planted here. Had great vegetation, squashes and zucchinis, had leaves up to my waist and real big broad leaves where they almost look like elephant ears. um, the corn never really did good here, but my beans, my peppers, my tomatoes, um, I haven't been able to keep the deer out of the okra until this year. Um, Cabbages and a couple things like that have actually done real good in the garden, but over time it hasn't reproduced that same type of um, abundance to me again. And like I said, I've been doing things to the soil and cultivating it and adding extra things and bringing in extra soil, fertilizers and things of that such. But it was on into this year, this growing season this year, that the things that I planted in the garden this year did real good, came up real quick. The corn, the beans, I brought in tomatoes, I brought in the cucumbers, one or two varieties of cucumbers, squash and zucchinis, white and yellow corn, crowder peas, uh, green beans, and the okra, and some watermelon. And planted all those, they all come up real good, come up real quick. Actually got a harvest off of the green beans. Um, Had to do a lot of water in the soil too, though, because of the rain and not having the rain. But that plays an part into the whole thing I'm talking about too, as far as me having to put all the extra water into the soil and thinking that all things were good too. And like I said, I was getting production out of plants, but it wasn't the same. And like I said, I watched the dwindling of the production in the vegetations. So I had a thought about the land or the soil closer to my home, and and actually had threw out a couple of watermelon seeds and a couple of things like that, sitting out in the backyard eating the watermelons, and the seeds come up and the watermelons took off. So I had the thought of changing locations and changing the soil in a sense, changing the location and changing the environment from where the plants were and transfer them to a new place. And they're actually growing great now, and I can see them gonna give me great reproduction and great production. They're gonna give me a great harvest. I'm gonna have a multiplication in my development of the plants, or I'm gonna have plenty of increase. But the thing I wanted to tell you about too was once I was taking them out of that soil and out of that condition, come to find out how bad the conditioning was, is that I was seeing the issues on the top of the soil or on the surface. I was seeing that the productivity wasn't good, but I was kind of content with it. Well, like, and as the season go, they'll grow, they'll do better, and they'll give me more production, and they would really produce to their full potentials. And but that wasn't the case. So when I moved the soils and got up under the bottom, I seen that the soil, even though the top was wet, the soil was choking the roots out and it was clinging to them, and it really was slowing down the growth of the plant. And even though that soil was good enough to start and sustain life, it wasn't, and it will not be adequate enough to give the full potential of life that the plants deserve. That's one of the things that was brought to my attention. I wanted to bring to you guys too as well. There's a lot of things that we go through in our life, and there's a lot of things that we go through in different stages or different relationships or different scenarios where we see the production and we're satisfied, even though it's not really what we would call the end game. Um, Start a business so as I can be rich. I started my business so I can be rich and successful. Um, and starting businesses, you know that you can start off sometimes, and sometimes they're not. You're gonna have slow times. You're gonna have up times. You're gonna have bad times. Sometimes you're gonna have good times, and that's the experiences I've had. So I'm not putting that on anyone else. But most people that know that have started their own business, you'll have those fluctuations. But after a certain amount of time and a certain amount of years, you should be able to go do you a cost analysis or be able to do your audit on your things and see how your business have grown and how far has it gone and what kind of um, future potential do you see? What type of harvest do you expect out of it? What kind of increase are you looking to have, and is it going to produce the yield at the rate that it's going at now to give you those things? So being able to evaluate ourselves and understand that sometimes just because we are having a productive life or having a productive reaction in an area or you being productive in a thing isn't always a great thing. So I don't want to belittle or dwindle anything, but I'm just saying, if you're like me, I plant my stuff. I get involved in things for the ultimate most out of that experience. I want the most I can get out of it. When I plant my vegetation, I want it to grow to the fullest potential and give me 10 to 50 to 100 times folds from the one seed that I plant. I expect the increase. And when I get involved in a thing and put my energy into it, no more if it's from building a house or repairing a house or working on a motor or whatever, I'm looking to get the full potential out of it so as it can be done and I'll be satisfied. A lot of things that we put our life into, we should be able to look at our inward walk and our spiritual walk, for say, or our self mastery striving. We should want the full potential out of it, and we should not get satisfied with being mediocre because we do see some productions. Little do we know that production will actually stunt your growth, and that same production is hindering your full potential, so that that environment that you're growing in is more of a stumbling block. The Bible says, set aside every sin that easily besets you so as you can run this race. These things need to be set aside so you can reach your full potential. And with your full potential, in your full potential, not only are you going to be blessed, but those that are associated around you will be blessed as well. You will have a oversurge or a surplus. You will have more than you can handle for yourself. And so this is how you can give back and be good to humanity as well, no matter um, who that may be, how you decide to share that with. Now the other part about that is being wise enough and smart enough to know that I can move it to better soil. I had to come over here, till the ground, get all the grass out, let it die, found rocks and other things inside of the sandy soil, still good soil. Had to get all those things out and replant and put those same things in a better environment. And they're growing now, and they're going to give me the yield and the harvest that I expect them to give me. I expect them to give me still a full potential, even though they may not be able to give me 100% of their full potential because 10% of it was stunted. But now, instead of it being an all loss and all growth and production come to a screeching halt, now I have a chance to save and still get a bountiful yield. So there are certain situations that come with you in your life, um, when you begin to start, or maybe if you're on your start already and you're on this journey of spirituality, self-awareness, and self-growth, and looking for your higher consciousness, and or making um, sense and gravitating toward a higher consciousness or God of your understanding, or however that may be. Um, a better way to make sure that you solidify the moral compass inside of you that's yearning for attention. You have to be able to uh, get yourself out of that environment. You won't be able to associate yourself with those people, things, individuals, TV shows, podcasts, music, anything that's not going to contribute into your real growth. You begin to cut those things off. For some people, it may be drugs, alcohol. You may have other addiction or other things that may hinder you from growing and being to your full potential, because those things have taken over and reserved all the energy that you're giving it. It's going to be greedy. It's going to take and take and take and take and never give you back anything. It's going to choke you out at the roots. It's going to hinder your production. So, as we say here too, as I said before, in another way, whenever you're vibrating on a different frequency, those frequencies and are going to attract light frequencies. You're going to start attracting better things that's going to help you in your environment for your growth. You're going to be able to um, not have to worry about somewhat of certain things that could hinder your growth, because those things won't be appearing, they won't be attractive, and they won't be alluring to you. Um, Back in the day, they would tell you whenever you go into an NA or AA or just in the church, when they tell you that you want to change your life, then you have to disassociate yourself from your friends, the places and things that you used to do, and get you a new habit, get you a new routine, and get you a new thing to do. In which that is true. Um, but I would say this, first of all, get off to yourself first, so as you can vibrate on the frequency that you know that you need to vibrate on, or you can recognize the God in you and the attributes of God in you and act upon those and allow those functions to work in their proper fashion for you in the life, and then attract those things. Seeking the first kingdom of heaven and all these other things will be added unto you. All those other things, once you're vibrating on that frequency, those things will come. And when you catch yourself vibrating on a lower frequency, you can see those things that will hinder your growth. You're able to actually expel them out of the good environment. You're actually able to uproot them out of there, take the grass out, till it up, or take the rocks out, or if anything else begin to grow or come in, you can expel those things out of your good environment, out of the good place for you to be, and to get the full productivity or the productivity out of what you're getting or whatever you're wanting. So it's all right to have to change. Change is only the only way for growth. Change is the only way for growth. Change is the only way for growth. If you don't change, you have not grown. The caterpillar is only caterpillar until it changes into the butterfly, which the butterfly, if I said in other videos before, the butterfly is always inside of the caterpillar. So you're going to have to change. It's going to come with you getting off to yourself. It's going to come with you going into your dark places. It's going to come with you. Your dark places are within your own mind, your own thought. Those are the dark places that I speak of when I say the dark places. You're going to have to go within thyself and face some things and deal with some things and deal with some truths. And do some examinations of things. The audit I talked about earlier, the same way you would do in your business, you would do in your spiritual life and in your real life. Your spiritual life, more so, or the things that you hold in routine to your thoughts that make you the moral person that you are, or that compasses your moral conduct, um, that makes you not be a liar or a thief, make you be a good person, make you be an honorable person, to make you be a caring and just and fair individual, make you be whoever or however you may be. So once you're in the right environment for growth, it's a natural law that the reproduction will come and the growth will come, and the full potential or the full production and the full productivity that I expect out of the vegetation or out of the life will happen. I am the good seed placed in the good soil. Hey, Sister Corinne, happy Wednesday to you as well. What's up, Brother King Bay, C King Bay? Thank you guys for joining and thank you for the support. When I did my first live video and on a couple other videos, this is Sister Above and Beyond with Corinne, as I was telling you about. I vibe with on Thursdays. Brother Keem haven't peeked in now, but I know he's always peeping in. He's the other one that I watch, Hindsight Radio with Akeem L on Monday, Tuesday, Truth Tuesday shows. So those are my downtime people. When I mean by downtime is when I do my meditation and I learn and I I feed off of as well. So thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and your time and coming in to hear what we had to say. But was talking about placing yourself in a good environment to grow and recognize the environment. You can go back and watch over the video. I was giving some illustrations from my garden and me having to transfer and transplant, replant some things in my garden to get them the best opportunity to give me the full production that they can give me. And how that also plays a part with the same thing I had to do in my own life and taking myself and separating myself from people, places, things, and situations, even my childhood beliefs and everything else, and and examine those things and doing things that are going to help me to grow to my full potential. A lot of times we're not allowed to do that, or we won't allow ourselves to do that too, because we will hold on to those things in that jacked up environment. Um, so here's another small analogy: is the way the soil or clinging to those roots, or how the roots were clinging to that soil and were trying to get all that it could out of it. Sometimes we do that whenever we deal with titles. Um, I'm gonna come back to that too as well. But the Bible, Jesus says that you have to forsake mother, brothers, fathers, and all that for His sake, or to follow Him. You have to forsake you have to forget about all those things. And a lot of times we've been taught and it's been driven, which I do think and I do love and I do believe is a still fundamental principle, that the cornerstone or the family sticking together, and it should only stick together when it can't be broken up, when it is a good productive place or a good environment for you to grow. Sometimes you might have to cut off family for your own mental health and your own mental health. Your mental health is important, and if you're not mentally straight, mentally healthy, you're not going to be if you're not spiritually healthy, you're not going to be mentally healthy. You're not going to be mentally healthy. You're not going to be physically healthy. And then you're not going to be healthy in anything that you're involved with. But anyway, a lot of times we got to be able to break those people and break away from those people. You don't have to lose love, but just because for you and what's best for you and your growth, you have to get out of that environment. And you can accept that that may be the environment that's best for them and their growth. But anyway, being able to take yourself and separate yourself from things, or being able to transplant yourself in different places. So another Bible uh, illustration I would use is when Jesus said that if you had just a small grain of faith, you can tell that tree to uproot itself and go plant itself in the sea, and it would have to obey. So there are certain things in our life, and there are certain thoughts that we have inside of ourselves um, that make up who we are. So we're able to tell ourselves to uproot ourselves from this environment that is no good and plant ourselves somewhere where it's better. We can tell this mountain to be cast into the sea and it will have to obey. We can tell these big obstacles or hurdles or whatever this great thing that is us, we can have it moved away from us and out of our way. So that's one of the things I wanted to get on here and share and and impart with you guys is that you being God, you have the power to operate in a way to get the best productivity out of your life. And it's going to be hard for you to do that if you don't go within and find out what type of God you are. As I said before, you know that you are a God, that is your title, but what and who you are describes how you operate in that title. The devil is a God. So, being God doesn't, it is a great thing to be, but learning who you are so that you can operate as the God that you should, so as you can be as productive to yourself and humanity and those that you need to be as possible to yourself first. So, um, as I said before, don't be afraid to take a look at things, and like I said, not trying to knock any progress, because I do believe progress is good. The only progress that isn't good is no progress. Um, so look at the fruits of your life, look at the fruits of your spirit, look at the fruits of the things and the relationships and all the other things, and see if you're getting what you want out of them. Do you need to cultivate the soil, or do you need to transplant? Do you need to start over? Do you need to relocate? Do you need to just go back and add some things to the soil? Those are things and questions you have to answer with yourself. You have to go inside and look within thyself and see those things and accept the truth for the truth, and then allow the truth to do what it does. Um, I said before, um, your 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 self mastery is very important. It is, and it is the heartbeat of who you are and what you are. A lot of times people do that, and they run to the comfortablest thing, and that will be the most religious fashion or whatever it may be, um, to find help in that area. Say the hospital made for sick people, they're made for spiritually sick people who are going through certain things. But anyway, um, go within thyself. No matter if you go to the church or wherever you do go inside thyself and find out what it is that you want and that you desire. And as I said earlier, have a goal, have a productivity expectation. You know, I wouldn't want to grow a tomato plant all season and only get one tomato off of it. I need enough tomatoes to can. I need enough to eat. I need enough to put up for the next season or into the beginning of next spring anyway. And same way with all my vegetation. So even with that, I need my spirituality to ever grow, to ever grow. I don't want to get to a place that I've actually reached full spirituality, or full spiritual growth, because then I feel like I've got to a place where I've vibrated on a lower level. I've allowed pride or something else to step up and tell me that I've actually got to a place that um, I don't think is attainable in one setting. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Sister Corinne and Brother C. King Bay, all the others that may come in later on. Um, Sitting out here in the yard, it's pretty warm where I'm at now. I really like doing my videos outside because it's peaceful to me. When I'm in there, my office, I'm at work, so sometimes I make videos from there, but I prefer to do my lives more genuine this way. But maybe next time I pick a little place more better in the shade. But I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for joining. Thank you for putting yourself into the show, taking this information in. And if you ain't already applied it to yourself or examined it for yourself, hopefully it's something useful. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your opinions, um, because they all make a part. Um, like I said, these may be the rules for my life, but you may be able to impart some information that can help add to me, to my potential growth. And that's what I want to be able to do, to add to you and your potential growth. So if we can reach our maximum potential, I want to thank you. I love you. I wish you all peace, love, prosperity, extreme health. And until the next time we can get on, next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, scheduled lives. And if I pop up from here or then doing other videos, I thank you for your attendance as well. Continue to be great leaders in your life. Continue to be the God that you are. Continue to magnify and continue to grow and continue to seek for your self-mastery. Love you and have a great day.